up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Let me tell y'all something real quick, man. For some reason, we get a kick out of using the term broke to insult somebody else, right? We like to call somebody else broke. That's like one of the biggest slaps in the face you could tell to a person. Y'all may get into an argument about anything. Y'all may start disagreeing about something, and if the argument escalates to where you may start yelling at each other, somebody might tell the other person, "Oh man, that's why you broke. Oh man, shut your broke up." Just we'll see that a lot. And the question is, why is calling somebody out as being broke? Why is that something that has turned into a go-to when we want to bring somebody down or one up somebody in a particular argument? Now, if you are a person who is doing well financially, you're doing pretty good, you're all right. That's a beautiful thing. But unless you were born into money, unless you, um, unless you were born into money, you've always known it, or maybe just a comfortable life growing up, you've never experienced any financial hardships, then I'm gonna assume that at some point in your life you have been broke. You have struggled with bread. You haven't had money at times in your life. You may have been behind on bills, and expenses may have mounted on you. You may have suffered an eviction. You may have suffered a repossession. You may have even got to the point where you may have been homeless. You may have not known where your next meal is coming from. But even if it's not that extreme, you've been in a position where you just didn't have what money was bad. So if you make it out of that position, nobody should appreciate more than you what it's like to not have something. So when you get to that point where you're doing all right, you're doing pretty good, and somebody that you may be speaking about or speaking to, or just even if you're not having a disagreement, you might just, oh man, old broke dude, man. Women telling other one, hey man, don't mess with no broke guy. I ain't got time for no broke dude or this or that. You know, that's not a wise thing to do, because anybody that knows anything about finances, for the most part, just the basics. I ain't acting like I'm no financial expert or nothing like that, but I'm just saying I know that even for the rich, things fluctuate. Now they may not dip to a point where the rich feels it like somebody on a lower level may feel it, but money comes and goes. And the place that you are today, you ain't guaranteed to be there tomorrow or the next day. So humility has to come along with your blessings. You got to have some level of humility to accompany what you've been blessed with, so you won't get beside yourself, and a time may come where you may be just like the person that you're trying to embarrass or bring down by calling them broke. And the person who you say, okay, this guy's broke, this sister's broke, broke. You don't know the path that they're on. You may not necessarily know the journey that they on. They may be on the up climb. They may be working on something that is going to put them in a position to never be broke again. And they may not see, everybody that's struggling financially are not struggling because they're lazy or they're trifling and they're sorry they don't want to work. No, they just are at a point on their journey where that's where they are right now, but they're working their way up from that. But even if they're not, for the reasons I mentioned earlier, it's just not cool to try to play the broke card on somebody when the tables can turn at any minute. It's just disrespectful. And it also makes you look bad. It makes you look low, because if that's what you have to resort to say something about somebody when you are in a position where you feel like you have the upper hand because, hey, I'm living it up right now, it's a low blow for you, and it's a knock against your character, because I would look at it like, wow, he didn't even have to say that. She didn't even have to say that. You know, that's stooping to a level that should be beneath you. And usually when you have these kind of conversations, why not take on the mindset? Because let's just be real with it. We usually talk about people we know like that. You arguing with somebody that's in your family, talking about them like that. You got into one of your friends and talking about them like that. Pull them up to your level. Help them get to where you are instead of ridiculing them because they may be down at this moment. The problem is a lot of us like to see others of us down. We have that disease in our heart where we like to see other people beneath us, and we're not comfortable if people are on our level or higher because we want to have that superiority um, complex over them. We want, hey man, I need to be the one that's on top in my circle. And a lot of people think like that and literally can't function. So somebody else comes into the circle and they doing pretty good. It's like they looking like they feeling threatened because I was the big dog and now I ain't. And the people who have seen how you acted towards them, they looking at you now like, see, because it's levels. So even when you calling somebody broke, it's somebody that's smashing your financial situation and will look at what you have as a drop in the bucket. So just humble ourselves, man, and don't do each other like. Let's give each other knowledge that can bring each other up to each other's level, and operate like that, as opposed to always looking to bring somebody down and take that low road, regardless of what the conversation is about, whether it's friends, family, or total strangers. Let's change that language, man. All right, it's your big brother K-Rino. Don't be broke spiritually, proving you're broke spiritually by trying to point out somebody being broke materially. All right, I'll catch y'all later on, man. Peace and love.